Eight Lies of a Mother by Unknown. The story began when I was a child. I was a son of a poor family. We did not even have enough food. Whenever meal times came, Mother would often give me her portion of rice. While she was removing her rice into my bowl, she would say, "Eat this rice, son. I'm not hungry." That was Mother's first lie. When I was growing up, my persevering mother gave her spare time to go fishing in a river near our house. She hoped that from the fish she caught, she could give me a little bit of nutritious food for my growth. After fishing, she would cook some fresh fish soup, which raised my appetite. While I was eating the soup, Mother would sit beside me and eat the rest of the fish, which was still on the bone of the fish I had eaten. My heart was touched when I saw that. I then used my chopstick and gave the other fish to her, but she immediately refused and said, "Eat this fish, son. I don't really like fish." That was Mother's second lie. Then when I was in junior high school to fund my studies, Mother went to an economic enterprise to bring some used matchboxes that would need to be stacked together. It gave her some money to cover our needs. As the winter came, I woke up from my sleep and looked at my mother, who was still awake, supported by a little candlelight, and with perseverance she could continue the work of sticking some used matchboxes. I said, "Mother, go to sleep. It's late. Tomorrow morning you still have to go to work." Mother smiled and said, "Go to sleep, dear. I'm not tired." That was Mother's third lie. The final term arrived. Mother asked for leave from work in order to accompany me. While the sun was starting to shine strongly, my persevering mother waited for me under the heat for several hours. As the bell rang, which indicated that the final exam had finished, Mother immediately welcomed me and poured me a cup of tea that she had brought in a flask. Seeing my mother covered with perspiration, I at once gave her my cup and asked her to drink too. Mother said, "Drink, son. I am not thirsty." That was Mother's fourth lie. After the death of my father due to illness, my poor mother had to play her role as a single parent. She had to fund our needs alone. Our family's life was more complicated. No days without suffering. Our family's condition was getting worse. A kind uncle who lived near our house assisted now and then. Our neighbors often advised my mother to marry again. But Mother was stubborn and didn't take their advice. She said, "I don't need love." That was Mother's fifth lie. After I had finished my studies and got a job, it was the time for my old mother to retire. But she didn't want to. She would go to the marketplace every morning just to sell some vegetables to fulfill her needs. I, who worked in another city, often sent her some money to help her in fulfilling her needs, but she would not accept the money. At times, she even sent the money back to me. She said, "I have enough money." That was Mother's sixth lie. After graduating with a bachelor's degree, I then continued to do a master's degree. It was funded by a company through a scholarship program. I finally worked in the company with a good salary. I intended to bring my mother to enjoy her life in golf. But my lovely mother didn't want to bother her son. She said to me, "I'm not used to." That was mother's seventh lie. In her old age, mother got stomach cancer and had to be hospitalized. I, who lived miles away across the ocean, went home to visit my dearest mother. She lay in weakness on her bed after having an operation. Mother, who looked so old, was staring at me in deep thought. She tried to spread her smile on her face, but it was a noticeable effort. It was clear that the disease had weakened mother's body. She looked so frail and weak. I stared at my mother with tears flowing. My heart was hurt, so hurt, seeing my mother in that condition. But mother, with the little strength she had, said, "Don't cry, my dear. I'm not in pain." That was mother's eighth and last lie. After saying her eighth lie, my dearest mother closed her eyes forever.